Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you the most compelling insights with just enough humor to keep you utterly hooked.
And today we are definitely getting into it.
We absolutely are. We're plunging into a really pivotal moment in our Revisiting Riverdale series. Chapter 9, aptly titled Le Grande Illusion.
A very fitting title.
Totally. We're really in the thick of it now, with only 4 episodes left in Riverdale's first season.
Wow, yeah, the end's coming up fast.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the stakes feel higher than ever, Our beloved residents are being pushed to their absolute limits as the town's charming facade just starts to crumble.
Yeah, this episode, it truly lives up to that name, La Grande Illusion. It's all about stripping away these layers of deception.
Right.
But before we dissect the illusions this chapter shatters, maybe we should quickly ground ourselves in the chaos that led us here, because, the preceding events are pretty crucial.
Good call. Okay, so previously on Riverdale.
You'll recall Fred Andrews' company, Andrews Construction, they secured that massive Sodale contract.
Huge deal for him.
Massive. But the big secret, the one Hermione has been desperate to bury, is that Fred still has no idea Hiram Lodge is the anonymous buyer.
Which is just, wow. It's not just a business deal at this point.
No, it's like you said, a powder keg just waiting for a spark.
And that fuse is definitely lit, because Archie, bless his heart, he started connecting the dots about those shadowy figures who intimidated Fred's crew.
Right, the bruisers.
Exactly. He suspects Hiram Lodge was behind them, linking it to Hiram's Montreal business.
And maybe even linking it to Hiram knowing about Hermione's.
Her little romance with Freddie Andrews, as Hiram apparently knows.
Yeah. For me, the true insight there is how quickly Hiram moves to weaponize that affair. It shows not just business smarts, but this, deeply vindictive nature.
Oh, totally. It's classic Riverdale, twisting personal relationships into high-stakes sabotage.
Yeah.
What struck me was how it instantly recontextualizes Hermione's position. That tightrope she's walking just got a lot higher.
Exactly. It elevates the corporate drama by infusing it with this raw personal vendetta. Meanwhile, we saw Ethel Mugg's poignant poem, a genuine cry for help, really.
Yeah, that hit hard.
And it deeply resonated with Veronica. It became this catalyst for her own journey of self-reflection, thinking about her past as a bully.
Right, the whole Page incident back at Spence. Gutter water. Oof.
Yeah, pretty brutal. Veronica's immediate connection to Ethel's pain and her guilt, it feels like a real defining moment for her character, how she's evolving.
Definitely. And then there's the ever-imploding Cooper family. Polly, pregnant with Jason Blossom's baby, has moved into Thornhill, the Blossom Mansion.
Which understandably sent Alice Cooper into an absolute rage.
That famous line, "I will not be party to raising a child that has Blossom blood."
Chilling. That family rift isn't just deepening, it's like a chasm now.
And poor Betty's stuck right in the middle. So, today's mission for our deep dive into La Grande Illusion is basically to react to its jaw-dropping plot twists, dissect these rapidly shifting loyalties, and, crucially, make some bold predictions for the final explosive episodes of Season 1.
Okay, I'm ready.
What new truth will unravel the town, and what fate awaits our beloved and often misguided Riverdale residents? Let's unpack this.
Okay, so first up, the Blossoms. When we talk about the fabric of Riverdale, we really can't ignore maple syrup.
Nope, it's the blood of the town, apparently.
Jughead's narration in this episode isn't just poetic, it's like a profound statement on its importance. He describes it as thicker than blood, more precious than oil.
Yeah, that line really lands. It's not just syrup.
No, it's the foundation of Riverdale's history, its economy, controlled by the Blossom family for over a century. It symbolizes their power, their legacy, and this kind of sweet, suffocating influence they have.
Absolutely. Jughead paints it as almost mythical, this sickly, sweet smell that's just inescapable.
But with Jason Blossom's death, that century-old control faces this unprecedented crisis of succession.
Right, the air is gone.
And Jughead's observation that everyone's wondering who would inherit the family business one day, certainly not Cheryl. It immediately highlights the Blossom Empire's internal vulnerability.
Yeah, suddenly the crown's up for grabs.
And the wolves are definitely circling, sensing that weakness.
It's interesting that vulnerability isn't just external, right?
Exactly. The narration explicitly says the Blossoms are circling the wagons against possible attack from within their own ranks.
Within their own ranks, wow.
Yeah, that suggests this deep-seated fragility to their power, hinting at internal schemes, potential betrayals from their own board, which we definitely see start to play out.
It really makes you wonder about these kinds of dynastic powers, doesn't it? How long can a family empire built on secrets in one commodity really hold up when the air is gone and pressure mounts?
That's a powerful question and something we see in real life too, right?
Right.
Internal threats are often way more potent.
Definitely. And speaking of internal pressure, let's pivot to Alice Cooper.
Oh, Alice.
The Cooper-Blossom feud isn't just legendary, it's practically foundational to Riverdale. Betty reminds us it dates back to Great-Grandpappy Blossom killed Great-Grandpappy Cooper.
It's not just petty rivalry, it's a blood feud. It provides this deep historical context for Alice's almost obsessive hatred of the Blossoms.
It's personal, it's generational, and it's just toxic.
And that personal vendetta, it truly turns professional in this episode. Alice, armed with her journalistic skills.
Such as they are sometimes.
Well, yeah. She's writing a searing, no-holds-barred takedown of their clan. Her motivation is just visceral. She wants to bring them to heel.
And maybe make herself feel a bit better after losing Polly to Thornhill.
For sure. She's weaponizing her anger, driven by this deep sense of injustice.
And her description of the Blossom Board? Oh, man. Descended upon Riverdale like a cabal of vampires.
It's so Alice. It's incredibly vivid. It really hammers home their predatory nature.
And she immediately clocks it as a potential hostile takeover. She's not just angry. She's sharp, seeing an opportunity to hit them where it hurts.
It's fascinating how the Blossoms leverage tradition, or at least the appearance of it, for their own gain. That whole pre-tapping ceremony is a prime example.
Right. It feels very performative.
Totally. Cheryl's invitation to Archie isn't genuine connection. It's framed as the sacred tradition she shared with Jason, now too painful to face alone.
That line, it was our extra special thing, but I can't face it alone. If you came as my escort, I think I could get through it.
Textbook Blossom emotional blackmail, using vulnerability to manipulate.
And it sets the stage perfectly for Penelope Blossom to swoop in with an even more direct, almost transactional offer.
Yep. Archie initially declines, mentions Valerie.
And Penelope immediately dangles that spot at the Brandenburg Music Academy summer program.
An opportunity crazy hard to get into, she says, but easily arranged with a word on your behalf.
Red flags everywhere. The Blossoms aren't doing anything out of pure kindness. There's always a price. They see people as pawns.
Precisely. And the real reason for all this theatricality becomes clear when Cheryl reveals the board's actually there.
Ah, the vampires have arrived.
They smell blood in the water, she says, worried about Clifford losing his grip because of Jason's death and, Polly pregnant and unwed.
It's a double whammy for their image and their corporate stability. Shows how fragile their power really is.
What's striking, though, is Archie actually defends Cheryl to the board members, points out her 4.0 GPA, her loyalty to Jason.
He's already getting drawn into their web, isn't he? Maybe without fully realizing it.
Seems like it. And he also reports back to Betty that the Blossoms are treating Polly great.
Which immediately clashes with Betty's gut feeling. It just shows how easily Archie, even with good intentions, can be misled by that polished Blossom facade. He sees what they want him to see.
Definitely. But here's where it gets really interesting and, honestly, a truly cruel twist.
Oh, the twin revelation. Cheryl.
She gleefully announces, Dr. Patel just confirmed it this morning. Polly is having twins. Bless our Blossom genes.
Her delivery to Betty is just dripping with malice. Clearly meant to emphasize the Blossom claim on the babies and twist the knife.
It's a calculated power play, designed to inflict maximum pain. Betty is understandably devastated that Polly didn't call to tell me.
And Cheryl's awful joke, hostages aren't normally allowed to make outgoing calls, just highlights the control the Blossoms have and how cold Cheryl can be.
It really underscores the psychological torment, and it raises that question about Cheryl again. How much of her cruelty is just who she is, and how much is learned from her parents, from Thornhill?
That's the eternal Cheryl question, isn't it? I lean towards her being a product of that toxic environment. The queen bee thing feels like armor, learned cruelty, mirroring her parents. We see glimpses of vulnerability.
And then she snaps right back.
Yeah, like when Betty asked her to pass a message to Polly about calling Alice. Cheryl's response: I'll pass your message along if I remember. That was a joke, you hobo.
Vicious. It's a cycle. Then, Clifford extends a second invitation to Archie, a banquet for the board at the Belmont Lodge.
Reinforcing the idea of Archie as Cheryl's escort, a picture for the family. They're really leaning into his wholesome, all-American image.
It's manipulative theater, pure and simple. What's fascinating here, though, is Archie actually tries to use this newfound leverage.
Right, he asks Clifford if he could help my dad, instead of the music school thing.
And Clifford's response is just a masterclass in manipulation, patronizing, admiring Archie's character.
But totally sidestepping the request. Promises to discuss Fred's situation man to man after the banquet. Creates the illusion of caring without committing to anything.
And then the true cynical motive is laid bare. Clifford reveals having Archie by Cheryl's side tells a very appealing story to the board. It tempers her more erratic behavior.
He sees Archie as a prop, a symbol of stability for the unstable Blossomaire. Just part of the picture they want to present. It's so cold.
It really is. But just when you think Polly is completely under their thumb,
She makes her move.
she asks Archie for the first dance. Subtle, but critical. It proves to be a pivotal moment for communication. Shows there's always more going on beneath the surface at Thornhill.
Okay, so while the Blossoms are busy trying to ensnare Archie, the Lodge family is navigating equally treacherous waters. Hermione's caught in this high-stakes tightrope walk.
Between legal battles and now this newly exposed personal betrayal, she and Veronica are prepping to testify for Hiram's hearing.
And Hermione tells Veronica they might have to shade the truth a bit.
Which immediately puts Veronica in this huge moral quandary.
Right.
She has to confront her conscience, the cost of loyalty.
Yeah, Hermione is truly in a bind, and it gets so much worse. She drops the bombshell that Hiram found out about her affair with Fred.
Your father found out about Fred and me. Someone went to him before I got a chance to say anything.
Oof. This explains so much about Hiram's aggressive moves with Sodale. It adds this deeply personal layer of vendetta. It's not just business anymore.
No, it's a husband scorned, acting out of revenge. It totally recontextualizes the whole Sodale drama.
And the complications don't stop there, do they?
Not even close. Hermione admits the Blossoms are still after the drive-in land, and crucially, Fred still doesn't know the lodges own it.
And Veronica, who's increasingly becoming the moral compass here, advises her mom, "Mom, this is a small, gossipy town. You need to tell Fred about the land before someone else does."
Hermione's dilemma is just stark. Telling him could risk him walking off the project after they've bet everything on Sodale. It's a no-win situation for her. Highlights the cascading consequences of all her secrets.
Meanwhile, Veronica's journey to atonement in this episode is, for me, one of her strongest arcs so far. Ethel's poem, that raw cry for help, it really affects her.
And she recounts her own painful history of bullying at Spence. The Page story, the gutter water.
Admitting she and her friend were Class A brutal bitches, leading Paige to transfer, seek therapy. It's heavy stuff.
And that painful backstory fuels Veronica's vow never to ignore a cry for help again. It's a powerful moment of self-reflection and a clear commitment to change her own legacy.
What's really insightful is how her immediate response is to plan this lunch and pampering session for Ethel and Kevin, showering Ethel with clothes from her purged closet.
And her explanation, "These things my dad gave them to me. He always brought home gifts whenever he did something wrong." Wow.
Yeah, that reveals this deep, maybe unconscious understanding of her father's manipulative patterns. She's using his currency, but for redemption.
It's like a mirror reflecting that lodge legacy of trying to buy forgiveness, but Veronica is consciously trying to break that cycle.
And then the true tragedy of the Muggs family unfolds, making it agonizingly personal for Veronica. Ethel reveals her parents are fighting. They might have to sell the house.
Because her dad had bad luck with her savings.
And Hermione drops the ultimate bombshell. Ethel's father, Manfred Muggs, invested with your dad and lost a lot when your father was arrested. Maybe everything.
Oof. That directly connects Hiram's crimes to Ethel's suffering, brings the abstract consequences crashing down into reality for Veronica.
And the devastating consequence comes fast. Kevin relays the horrific news. Ethel's dad accidentally swallowed a whole bottle of sleeping pills.
He's okay, thankfully, but the suicide attempt just underscores the profound, real-world impact of Hiram's actions on innocent families.
It makes you wonder, how many other families in Riverdale suffered like this because of Hiram Lodge?
Exactly. Veronica's world is truly shaken. She can't ignore the collateral damage anymore.
So, with immense courage, she goes to the hospital, directly tells Ethel and Mrs. Muggs, "My name is Veronica Lodge. My father is Hiram Lodge. He's the reason Dad did this to himself."
That takes guts. And Mrs. Muggs' raw anger, he deserves to sit behind bars for the rest of his miserable life. forces Veronica to confront the true human cost of her father's sins.
It's a public, painful confession, but absolutely necessary for her to start forging her own path.
Yet, amidst all that pain, there's a crucial glimmer of hope for Veronica's redemption. Later, Ethel tells her, "It's not your fault what your dad did, and you were there for me when no one else was."
Ethel, that's huge.
It's a significant step in Veronica's arc. Shows that integrity and empathy can begin to heal deep wounds, even when the damage feels irreparable. It suggests that while the sins of the father impact the daughter, they don't have to define her.
She's actively choosing a different legacy. Love that.
Okay, let's talk about Fred Andrews.
Good old Fred. He's often felt like a pawn in this Lodge Blossom game, but this episode marks a real turning point.
Hermione finally delivers the bombshell. Hiram and I, we are the anonymous buyers.
And Fred is, understandably, enraged. You're working for Lodge Industries. How do you not tell me that? You didn't sign up to go into business with a criminal like Hiram Lodge.
He feels utterly betrayed, used. His anger is just palpable.
And then Hermione reveals that Clifford Blossom told Hiram about the affair.
And that Hiram was the one who sent thugs to stop Fred's crew, trying to stop us.
Which connects it all back. Fred rightly yells, "So you have dragged me into a war between Hiram and Clifford."
It confirms the deep personal animosity driving these corporate battles, makes them way more dangerous, exposes the true nature of Riverdale's power players.
But Fred, despite his anger, decides to stay on the project. Not for Hermione, though.
Nope. For himself, for his principles. He declares, from now on, everything we do around here is going to be legal, 100% above board.
And demands a 20% stake, refusing to be a mere pawn any longer. It's a significant shift for him, asserting his independence.
It's powerful. And crucially, he draws that clear line, ending the affair definitively. You and me, whatever was going on there is over. Now we're just business partners. That's it.
Choosing his moral compass over that messy entanglement. But can he really keep things 100% above board in this project?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Especially with the Lodge Blossom war raging around him. Seems almost impossible.
It does. Huge question heading into the finale. But here's where it gets really interesting. Maybe the biggest reveal of the season so far.
Hey, hit me.
Archie overhears Clifford and Penelope Blossom talking about Sodale, how Hermione will trumble. Clifford wants the drive-in land back. Standard Blossom plotting.
Right.
But then Penelope make this chilling comment. Maybe you should have sent her to jail instead of Hiram.
Whoa.
And Clifford's reaction strongly suggests his direct involvement in Hiram's downfall.
Okay, hold on. So Clifford Blossom sent Hiram Lodge to jail.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And Jughead connects the dots brilliantly.
Yeah.
If Clifford sent Hiram Lodge to jail, tore apart his family, then maybe Hiram was trying to do the same thing to him.
That's a motive.
This is monumental. It exposes Clifford Blossom as this ruthless criminal mastermind. Far more calculating, far more dangerous than we thought.
And it provides a clear, devastating motive for the entire Lodge Blossom feud. He's not just a business rival. He orchestrated Hiram's downfall.
This changes everything for our understanding of the season's conflicts. It completely recontextualizes the entire power dynamic in Riverdale.
Wow.
Okay, let's unpack Archie's journey in this episode because it is a huge turning point for his character. The allure of the Blossoms, his music dreams. It's almost irresistible.
Yeah, they really dangle the carrot. Cheryl, as a thank you for the banquet, gifts Archie that 84 Les Paul guitar.
Nice guitar. But also
a very enticing golden cage, right? It's clearly designed to deepen his obligation to her and her family. What did you make of that gift? Genuine or purely transactional?
Oh, totally transactional. Classic Blossom move by loyalty, secure influence.
Archie, though, seems genuinely excited about the Brandenburg Music Academy summer program. He sees it as a huge opportunity to make connections outside of Riverdale.
Which is understandable for a young musician, but that ambition clashes so hard with his developing moral compass.
And his friends see it immediately. Jughead's cynical query, cool with you being a gigolo now. Ouch.
Right, and Veronica's blunt assessment, these kinds of favors always come with a price tag. They perfectly highlight the perception of Archie's actions, the ethical cost.
Jughead's gigolo line is just a perfectly delivered gut punch. Cuts right to the quick.
And then Fred, ever the grounded dad, gives Archie that harsh reality check. He is furious about the guitar, the Blossom influence.
Warns Archie. Don't think for a second that the Blossoms are looking out for you. They're using you, Archie. Reminds him how the Blossoms tried to run Andrew's construction into the ground.
Proving they have no real loyalty to his family, This is Fred stepping up as a true parental guide, trying to instill some values.
It really is. And it raises that question about ambition itself, doesn't it? Is it worth compromising your values, your family's history, for an opportunity that feels once in a lifetime? Archie's genuinely grappling with this.
And then Valerie delivers the ultimate ultimatum.
Yeah, she confronts Archie, reveals Cheryl's been trying to drive a wedge between them. Cheryl poured some insane poison into my ear about how close you two are getting. She legit thinks she's going to steal you away from me or something.
Classic Cheryl, playing her games.
Uh-huh.
But Valerie's ethical challenge here is just so powerful.
Absolutely. She directly questions Archie's choices. The Blossoms are buying you. And then that follow-up. Wouldn't you rather earn your place at that table with your music?
That forces Archie to truly confront his integrity, the authenticity of his dreams. For me, this is the moment of moral clarity for him. He has to choose who he wants to be.
And when Archie asks what she would do, Valerie's response is just stark, uncompromising. If you have to ask, then you don't know me at all, Archie.
We'll break up.
She breaks up with him, refuses to be bought or associated with his compromises. Sorry, Archie, but unlike you, I won't be bought.
It's a significant moment for both of them. Shows Valerie's strength, forces Archie to face the immediate consequences. Painful lesson, but necessary.
So after that confrontation, the banquet breakdown becomes Archie's defining moment, the peak of his internal struggle.
Cheryl, emotional, vulnerable, after feeling alienated by her family, she desperately kisses Archie, claims her lipstick's maple red. Tastes so sweet.
It's a moment of raw desperation, attempted seduction, a last-ditch effort to keep him in her orbit, feel seen, desired.
But Archie, now fully aware of the manipulation, the cost, he definitively rejects her advances, tries to leave.
Which is a crucial turning point for him, choosing self-respect over opportunity, even over that entanglement.
But Cheryl's true nature snaps right back, a furious, entitled threat. If you leave, the radiant sun that is the Blossom family stops shining on you, and everything we've given you, including Brandenburg, disappears.
And then cruelly adds, "You're just like the others." It's such a bitter, revealing moment for Cheryl. Shows how transactional her world is.
But integrity prevails. Archie makes the definitive choice. I'm sorry, Cheryl, but I can't do this anymore. Goodbye.
He walks away.
Walks away from the Blossom influence. Chooses his own path, even if it means sacrificing Brandenburg, sacrificing Valerie.
It's a tough lesson learned, but vital for his character development. Proves he can stand on his own, define his own moral boundaries. He's been reactive for so long, but this feels like a proactive choice. Okay, shifting gears to Betty. Her unwavering resolve throughout this episode is truly commendable. It's one of her most defining characteristics, I think.
Totally agree. Despite Archie's initial, kind of naive assessment of Polly's well-being at Thornhill.
Betty insists. That doesn't make any sense. That's not Polly. She wouldn't do that to us. Something else is going on.
Her sisterly bond, that intuition, it's just so strong. It provides this essential counter-narrative to what Archie saw. She knows her sister.
That bond transcends logic for her. And because of it, she asks Archie to pass that message to Polly, urging her to call Alice, recognizing her mom's deep pain.
It's a desperate attempt to bridge the divide in her fractured family. Find some shred of connection.
But the Cooper family, as we've seen all season, is just in full meltdown mode. Alice's obsession with attacking the Blossoms makes her dismiss Betty's concerns about Polly.
Enough about Polly. I mean it. She's the one that betrayed us, not the other way around. Ouch. That shows how her personal vendetta is blinding her, pushing Betty further away.
And the implosion becomes dramatically public when Hal refuses to publish Alice's personal vendetta.
Leads to that explosive confrontation where he fires her from the register.
And literally kicks her out of the house.
Alice retaliates with fury. "I want my daughter back, you bastard!" The Cooper family is just publicly falling apart, reaching a new low.
And Betty, witnessing all this, expresses that profound fear. It feels like we're falling apart, and the way things are going, pretty soon the Coopers, we're not going to exist anymore. It highlights her desperation, the immense pressure she's under.
Absolutely heartbreaking to watch them crumble. But then Jughead steps in.
Jughead, the anchor.
He gives her some much-needed reassurance. His words are a lifeline. "Don't give up. Your family is definitely splintering right now, but it won't fall apart because of you. Because you're holding them together. You're so much stronger than all of the white noise."
It's such a beautiful moment of support. Recognizes Betty's strength, her often overlooked role as the glue holding her chaotic family together, even when they're falling apart.
And reinforces that strong bond between Betty and Jughead, too.
But this is where the narrative shifts dramatically for Polly, and it's a brilliant reveal.
Yes. the dance floor confession.
During their dance at the banquet, Polly confides in Archie. The Blossoms had something to do with Jason's death, I'm sure of it. They threatened him, and I'm going to prove it.
Boom. This transforms her from perceived victim into an active agent. A spy on the inside, determined to uncover the truth.
It's a masterful twist. Completely changes our perception of Polly's time at Thornhill. She's not a captive, she's an operative.
And her explanation for her silence makes perfect sense, given the dangerous game she's playing.
It has to be believable, and I don't want her trying to rescue me.
Shows her fierce independence, her strategic thinking, proves she's not just a damsel in distress, but a proactive character with her own mission, and a deep understanding of her mother's impulsiveness.
Polly isn't just a plot device, she's a player, taking agency.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, this revelation immediately galvanizes the Cooper women, provides a much-needed turning point.
Archie immediately calls Betty with the news. She didn't choose the Blossoms over us, she's actually there to spy on them.
And Alice's relief is just palpable. Immediately shifts her focus from despair to renewed purpose.
Absolutely. Alice, reinvigorated, declares, "She will, Mom, and right now she's our woman on the inside. We're going to write this story."
And Betty extends the olive branch the invitation. Come write with us at Blue and Gold, the school newspaper.
And Alice's brilliant quip, "I'm pretty sure that our annual operating budget is bigger than the registers."
Provides that moment of darkly humorous catharsis. And it forms this powerful new journalistic alliance between mother and daughter, ready to expose the Blossoms.
It's a fantastic new dynamic for the Coopers, finally united by a common righteous cause. I cannot wait to see this play out.
Okay, so as we accelerate toward the climax of Season 1, Clifford Blossom's ruthlessness just continues to escalate, revealing the true depth of his malevolence.
Yeah, that conversation with Penelope confirms his ongoing desire for the drive-in land, his chilling belief that Hermione Lodge will crumble. His focus remains relentlessly on consolidating power, destroying rivals.
He's positioned as an even more formidable antagonist than we maybe first thought.
And that revelation that Clifford potentially sent Hiram to jail, it paints him as far more dangerous, far more calculating.
He's not just the patriarch of the maple syrup empire. He's orchestrating major events from the shadows, the true puppet master behind so much of the season's conflict.
It fundamentally recontextualizes everything we thought we knew about the Lodge Blossom feud, reveals it as this deep, almost dynastic war.
And this episode also sets the stage for Cheryl's escalating instability, hints at a very dark path ahead for her.
That raw confession to Archie, "Everyone thinks I'm a train wreck. Jason was the golden boy, but me, people hate me, Archie."
It reveals this deep well of insecurity, profound isolation beneath the queen bee facade.
She's deeply wounded by her family's rejection, the loss of her twin. Her emotional state feels increasingly fragile.
And Jughead's closing narration captures this perfectly. Describes how winter had come early to Riverdale, brutal and unforgiving, and then introduces a new, equally brutal force. A storm of chaos named Cheryl Blossom, as she sits alone, distraught in her bedroom.
That's not just hyperbole, is it? It's an ominous prediction, hints at a major breakdown or a destructive path for Cheryl in these coming episodes. Signals she's far from done making an impact.
Oh yeah, I predict she's going to lash out, and it is not going to be pretty.
Finally, Jughead's concluding observations kind of provide a sense of closure and foreshadowing for two key characters.
Wait, Veronica and Archie.
He notes that the sins of the father would remain simply that for Veronica, implying her capacity to forge her own path despite her father's toxic legacy.
She's actively working towards her own moral compass. A powerful message of agency, resilience.
And Archie, according to Jughead, has returned from the brink of compromise and manipulation, suggests he's learned a valuable lesson about staying true to himself.
Wow, okay, what an episode. Le Grande Illusion really lived up to its name, didn't it? Peeling back layers of deception to expose the raw, often bitter truths beneath Riverdale's charming facade.
It really did. This deep dive definitely showed us how quickly allegiances can shift, how deeply personal vendettas shape the destiny of an entire town. This is the kind of episode that makes our Revisiting Riverdale series so compelling.
Exactly. We discovered Polly isn't just a victim. She's a spy, determined to unearth Jason's secrets from within Thornhill.
And Clifford Blossom, not merely the patriarch, but the mastermind behind Hiram Lodge's arrest, setting the stage for this potentially explosive feud that explains so much of the season's conflict.
That reveal completely changed my understanding the whole town's power dynamics.
Mine too. And Archie, after flirting with ambition, ultimately chose integrity. potentially sacrificing his music dreams, his relationship with Valerie.
Fred Andrews asserted his independence, became a principled partner in Sodale, severed those romantic ties with Hermione.
Veronica bravely confronted her family's dark legacy, earned that measure of forgiveness from Ethel, solidified her own moral compass.
And in that fantastic twist, Betty and Alice, united by Polly's secret mission, formed that formidable journalistic team at the Blue and Gold, ready to expose the Blossoms.
It's a powerful, unexpected alliance. I absolutely cannot wait to see that in action.
Me neither. So, connecting this all back to you, the listener, what revelations shocked you the most in this episode? Did you see Polly's double agent status coming? Or were you as surprised as we were by Clifford's deep involvement in Hiram's downfall?
It completely changes the game as we head into these last few episodes of Season 1, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And as we prepare for the final 4 episodes of Season 1, and we are incredibly excited to confirm that Revisiting Riverdale will continue with Season 2. So stay tuned for more deep dives.
Yes, more Riverdale madness to come.
Definitely. Let's make some bold predictions. First, Polly's espionage. What specific damning evidence will she uncover inside Thornhill about Jason's death?
And will she put herself in even greater danger digging deeper? Or has she already calculated those risks? She seems pretty sharp.
Oh, she's definitely in for it one way or another.
Yeah.
And then, the Blue and Gold's big story. How will Betty and Alice, armed with Polly's inside info, orchestrate their expose?
What kind of seismic impact will this have on the Blossom Empire, on Riverdale at large? This isn't just a school newspaper anymore.
No way. It's a force, potentially uncovering a murder.
And then there's Hiram Lodge, knowing Clifford sent him to jail. What's Hiram's next move? Retaliation from behind bars.
Or is a larger, more destructive plan in motion for his eventual, inevitable return? He's not one to forget or forgive.
No, the scale of his vengeance could be truly terrifying.
For Archie, having chosen integrity, what's next for his music? Is Valerie gone for good, or is that bridge just damaged?
And how will he navigate the inevitable Blossom fallout after rejecting them so publicly? His path forward is definitely unclear. He's made powerful enemies.
And that ominous storm of chaos prediction for Cheryl, Jughead's narration suggests a major storyline. What form will her breakdown or destructive actions take?
Will she become a tragic victim of her family's toxic legacy, or a new kind of villain lashing out, destabilizing Riverdale even further?
Then there's Sodale. Can Fred and Hermione really keep things 100% above board with this Lodge Blossom war raging?
Will the drive-in land remain the central point of contention, or will it become the spark for an even bigger conflict that consumes everything?
And finally, the big one. The unmasking of Jason's killer. With Polly inside, the Cooper women investigating. Are we finally on the cusp of understanding who killed Jason Blossom and why?
What larger Blossom family secrets will be revealed? Will it be enough to bring down the entire century-old empire?
So many questions. As we head into these final nail-biting episodes of Season 1, Riverdale keeps teaching us that beneath the small-town charm, legacies are built on secrets and lies. The quest for truth can unravel even the strongest bonds.
So the final question is, when everything is exposed, which families will stand and which will crumble into dust?
A truly thought-provoking question for you to mull over. What stands out to you as the biggest unanswered question or most shocking potential reveal for the Season 1 finale?
The possibilities are endless, really.
They certainly are. The first season is almost over, but this story is far from finished. We're excited, as we said, Revisiting Riverdale will continue with Season 2. Get ready for more deep dives into the chaos and charm that only Riverdale can deliver.
Can't wait.
Thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time as we continue our journey through Riverdale.